What's going on, YouTube? How you doing? How you doing? First and foremost, man, I just want to thank everyone that subscribe to my channel, that support me, that make great comments and bad comments, that like my channel, that like my videos and everything like that, man. I humbly appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I want to give a shout out to the content creators that throughout the years that I would share my TikTok videos, but I just never been active really on YouTube like that. And I want to thank the content creators also, and I want to say I'm thankful for the people that did see my videos on other content creators. Man, I'm happy that we can reconnect now. You know what I mean? So I'm very humble and thankful about that, man. I hope y'all continue to enjoy my content. Like I said, I'm gonna get better, man. Y'all just bear with me, man. I got some. Excuse me, I just got a couple things to work out, but other than that, I'll be straight. But listen, before we get started, man, can we hit that like and subscribe button for your boy? Please hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. Now, boy. Now, I know y'all ain't gonna care about this. You know what I'm saying? Because we in delineation era, right? We in the delineation era, and sometimes I be wondering, right? Even though I'm delineating, sometimes I had to sit back just from a human aspect of thinking and feelings. What goes through the mind of a illegal or a regular immigrant that they know they about to be deported? I want to know, are they scared? I want to know if they're nervous. I want to know if they want to go back to their homeland. This go for a Mexican, African, Caribbean, white immigrant, whatever type of immigrant that came over here illegally, or they might been here legally, but their TPS about to end, their work visa about to end, they got to go back home. I want to know that feeling, right? And the reason why I want to know that feeling because, and I'm talking to the majority of them that have anti-black racism towards us, the ones that be saying the most foulest things towards online. Cause y'all remember before Trump got in office, a lot of these immigrants were saying some wild things about Black Americans. And what I noticed is, especially with the Latinos, they been kind of quiet a little bit. On my side of things, what I've been seeing, they been kind of quiet. I wonder. Let me speak about the Mexicans right quick. I wonder if Mexicans get nervous, right? Especially the ones that we be seeing working at these taco stands and stuff in parking lots, or they just be out selling food. I want to know, do they get nervous when like SUVs roll by? I want to know what go through their mind when they think about, damn man, I ain't gonna see little Alejandro no more. I don't know, do they get nervous, right? That's all I want. I want to know, do they get nervous. I want to know if a Haitian, especially in South Florida, they work at these hotels, you know, and they be cleaning and stuff, and they walk outside the hotel, you know, take a smoke break or whatever these Haitians do, or trying to find a cat they can bring home so they can cook it. I don't know which one. But I don't know if they get nervous also when the SUV roll by. Or even better, I want to know what's the feeling of anticipation even though the TPS is coming, but it's on hold right now. I want to know how they feel for them. Like, are they nervous? Or what they thinking about? You know what I'm saying? Are they thinking about going back to that homeland of theirs? Are they thinking about the good life they had in America? Do they wish they could have hooked up with some Black Americans to save them? That's why I want to know. Do they wish they would have made better verbal choices about Black Americans before they be deported? I always want to know that. An African that, let's say the African that picks me up in my Lyft or Uber or something like that, and I hop in the car. I want to know, as we drive into the airport, I want to know, is that African thinking like, damn, I might go back home. I might have to poop in the middle of the street again. I love being civilized. I don't want to go back to being uncivilized again. I just don't. I just really don't. I want to know, is he thinking like that? I want to know prior to that, when he was saying all these foul things about foundational Black Americans, how we lazy, how we don't work, how the government took care of us, how the white man gave us everything, how we not educated, how we Africans work hard, how we Africans do better than the Black Americans, how we superseded Black Americans. I wonder now, what goes through his mind as I'm sitting in his back seat and he got to go back home and hunt monkeys again. Go back home and not see a toilet or irrigation system again. I wonder how they feel, how they gonna feel to him. I wonder how he gonna act when they pick him up. And the reason why I ask these questions because I know that feeling. And I ain't talking about feeling being deported. Just a feeling not knowing what's about to happen. Not knowing the future of what's about to happen in the next few days, or the next few hours, or even the next few minutes. Some of y'all can relate to this, what I'm about to say. Back when I was in school, right, I was a fool, man. I was a goddamn fool. I'm talking about a goddamn fool with them teachers. Now, I was a bad kid at school, but I wasn't a bad kid at home, right? So, I used to go to school, cut up. I'm talking about I used to cut up, y'all. And I remember this one particular day, I was cutting up bad. I'm talking about bad. Like me and my partner, we was in class. You know how you beat on the desk. So I used to beat on this, right? I used to beat on the desk. And my nigga used to be rapping, right? Now, we in like 5th grade or some shit like that. We like in 5th grade. So my nigga used to be rapping like a motherfucker. So the teacher would stop and be like, can y'all stop? You know how teachers do. Y'all disturbing the class. We kids can't learn. If we do it again, you're going to be kicked out of class. You're going to go to the principal's all blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, man, fuck that shit. So what we did was, as the teacher was talking, we were quiet as hell, right? So we just sitting there chilling. We still talking, but we're not talking loud. Nobody can hear. So now we doing our work or whatever. And I looked at him, and I had a book. So what I did, I grabbed the book, bow, threw it on the ground, made a loud noise, bow. Everybody jumped. Teacher jumped too. Teacher said, Brian, go to the office right now. Woo, 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 woo. So I go to the office. Sit in the office about 30 minutes, whatever. They call my mama. So my mama ended up had to come up to the school and talk to the principal so they won't put me in school suspension. So this was like 12 o'clock. So my mom like, just go up there and be quiet. If you do that again, you know I'm gonna have to get on your ass, you know what I'm saying? Cause you wilding out right now, basically, just so many words. You wilding out. Let me paint you a picture of my mother. Now my mother is a petite woman, right? Sweet as hell. She rarely cuss. Even when she whooped me, it didn't hurt. But I used to holler like it hurted. So make her feel good about herself when she used to whoop my ass. You know what I mean? So my mom was just such a sweet woman, still a sweet woman to this day, man. So that's the type of mother I had. And to keep in mind, y'all, I'm the only child at that. So I don't have no brothers and sisters. So I'm the only child. Keep that in mind, I'm the only child. So anyway, my mama said, don't let me come back up here. This is going to be your ass. Woo, 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 woo. So boom. I go back to class. Now, it's around lunch. Now, that's what it was. So, soon as my mama left, it was around lunchtime, so we go to lunch. So, how about I go up, get in line or whatever. So, my class at during this time, we had to sit with our classes. We couldn't just sit anywhere we want. So, I'm in line behind another class. So, as I'm in line, it was this dude I know from the neighborhood that's in another class, right? And we just, just chopping it up, talking, whatever. So as I'm talking, the line steady moving, but I'm holding up the line. You know what I'm saying? So let me say it like this: this me, and this the line that's going towards where we pick up our food trays and stuff. So these people right here, moving, and this is just a big ass gap. Now there's a long line behind me because I'm talking to this dude. So one of the teachers come around and be like, "Hey, move your ass on somewhere." I'm like, man, who you cussing at? You don't cuss at me. I'm going to move up. So I'm walking slow. Like everybody mad now. I'm talking about not my partner, but everybody behind. Because it's like 4 classes behind me too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just walking slow, just taking my little time. So they're like, the teacher, this is not my teacher, but the teacher came around like, he got in my face like, listen, you better walk up. I'm just walking just like this. Just walking still slow. Still slow. He said, get out my line. So I get out the line. So as he put me out the line, he sat me down like in a corner. So he said, you ain't getting back in line till everybody get their food. I said, oh, I'm finna get my food. I'm hungry. So I get up. He grabbed me, pushed me back down. I said, nah, bro, I'm finna go get me something to eat. I ain't finna wait an hour before I get my tray because my class gonna be gone. He said, well, you should have thought of that before you were being insubordinate. So I was like, man, forget that. So guess what I did? I got up. He put his hands on me again. I knocked his hands away, walked up in there and got my tray. He still followed me trying to take my tray. You know what I'm saying? Because I jumped in front of other people. I said, I'm finna get my tray. So I got my tray. Boom. Here he come trying to, snatch my tray and shit. So as I'm going to the cashier to pay for my food, This motherfucker gonna tell me that's why you ain't. What he said? Dang, he said something real slick to me that pissed me off. Hold on. Damn, I can't remember what he said. I should have thought about this before. This story just came to my mind too, y'all. But anyway, forget it. But he said something slick to me, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. And man, as soon as I say I don't give a fuck you, the line got quiet. The train started moving on the rail. It seemed like the people in the cafeteria got quiet. The lunch ladies just looking at me like he got shot. And I eventually went back to the office. Now they about to suspend me. Now my mom had to leave work again and come back up there. Now during this time, I was stressing the hell out of my mama because of the school, but not at home. I just want to reiterate that. During my years in school, I was always bad, and I think this time right here, my mama just had enough. You know what I'm saying? So when she come up there, she like, what happened now? And I explained to her what happened. My mom just gave me a look of disgust, like, boy, I can't wait to get your ass home and whoop your ass. So I'm like, fuck. You know, so my mama heard, she kind of in tears talking to the principal. She shaking. Matter of fact, I found out years later when I got in high school that my mama almost had an aneurysm around that time dealing with me because I was just worrying her so much. She used to have to come up to the school a lot. So when I found that out, like, damn, I felt bad as hell. But check this out. So anyway, they end up suspending me from school, right? They suspended me for 5 days from school. My mama take me home, boom, drop me off at the house. Time go on during that day, and my dad was living in Texas at the time, because around this time, my dad was living in Texas at the time. Now keep in mind, I think they divorced when I was in 3rd or 4th grade. So now hold on. Just because they divorced, I wasn't acting out. I was acting out even before my dad and my mama divorced. So it wasn't like nothing, it had nothing to do with it. So anyway, so I remember my mama, when she got off work, my mama called my dad. It was about 8 o'clock. So my dad, you know, he talking to me, fussing and shit like that. So I'm being nonchalant. I'm like, man, yeah, nigga, you in Texas, nigga. You ain't finna do nothing to me. You know, that's how I'm thinking. So I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna do it again. Yeah, you right. But what I didn't know is that I thought my mama just told what happened earlier that day. I didn't know my mama told the second part of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because my mama called my daddy earlier while she was at work and told him what happened the first time. I'm thinking this nigga talking about the first time, not knowing this nigga already contemplating in his mind that he finna fuck me up over what I did the second time during that day. So as I'm on the phone with him, he was like, don't make me come down now. I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, whatever, nigga, you know. I'm like, okay. I don't want you to come down here, Dad. You in Texas, nigga. I'm in Mississippi, so what? You know what I mean? What? You know, so so I ain't gonna never forget, yo. I talked to my dad that morning. I swear to God. I talked to my dad that morning. And it was just so happened that day I had to have a doctor's appointment at 12 that day. So I talked to my dad that morning before I went to school. He was like, you better act right today. You better act right. So I went to school, so I knew I would get dismissed. So I was just chilling. I wasn't doing shit at work. Man, I say about 11:30, this son bitch at the school, and he's looking inside my classroom to see what I'm doing. And it was just so happened I turned around because the door in the classroom was like this skinny. And I could just see this buck-eyed fucker just looking through the window. I said, fuck. How this nigga get from Dallas to Jackson so goddamn quick? I just talked to him this morning. I saw his number on his home phone number on the call ID this morning at 8 o'clock. How in the hell he get from Dallas to Jackson in less than 4 hours? How? And it's 11:30. How? When I saw this nigga, bro, I damn near sharted on myself. My heart dropped to my nuts. I started to get sweaty. I started to feel anxious and everything. So check this out. During that whole 30 minutes, I felt like an immigrant because I didn't know why this nigga was here. I felt like an African about to be deported. I didn't know what this nigga was about to do to me in the next 30 minutes. I felt like a Mexican that's selling tacos that about to be deported. I didn't know how far this nigga was gonna go with me. You know what I'm saying? Number 4, I felt like a funky Haitian that stink, that don't know when TPS gonna be approved, and they just walking around here nervous, like they got the boo boo guts. I had the boo boo guts around this time. I had the bubble guts. That whole 30 minutes, I was just pacing in my mind what this nigga about to do, cause I know he came down here for a reason. This nigga, I knew this nigga done drove 4. I knew he done drove 4.5 hours or 4 hours just for nothing. I knew he came to wreck shop, but I just didn't know how he was gonna wreck shop. So check this out. I get a dismissal at 12 o'clock. Boy. I didn't go to the doctor's appointment. They said, fuck the doctor. I go to my grandma's house. So when he talking to me in the car, cause he talked to my teachers. My teachers telling, just snitching on your boy, just telling I don't be doing my work. He failing. He woo. All he want to do is play. Him and his friends just talk. I move him to the front. He still talking in the front. We move him in the middle. He still talking in the middle. Your son just won't be quiet. So he fussing, cussing. I'm like, shit. So we pull up to my grandma's house. When we pulled to my grandma's house, my mama there. I said, what the fuck my mama doing here? My mama supposed to be at work. Shit, what the hell she doing here? So we get out the car, we go inside, and I see my grandmother and my mother sitting in the kitchen. Cause when you walk through this door, it's the kitchen. But where the kitchen is a den. Now my grandparents had a big ass den. Man, I wish I had a picture of my grandma's den. Their den, and I'm not bragging, I'm not bullshit. The den how it's wide and big, it's the size of a house. So the den had its own house. Matter of fact, if we was like the type of people, man, you could put a basketball full court in that particular den. That's how big it was. So I walked in. My dad speak to my grandmama. My dad speak to my mama. So they started to have a conversation about me. So I'm sitting here nervous like an African about to be deported back to Nigeria and got to poop in the middle of the street. My dad said, oh, he been doing this too. Oh, he don't be doing his homework. So when you ask him if he got homework, oh, he tell you that he don't have homework. And I'm like, fuck, mama, why you do that to me? Why you tell my daddy that? Yes, I'm about to say my dad name. I'm calling see. Yes, see, he does do that. He does do that. He lied to me, and I check his bag, and he always say he did his homework at school, but the teacher saying he ain't turning his homework. I said, oh, okay. Man, how about this, bro? My grandma used to be my savior. My grandma usually saved me from things. My grandma usually like the voice of reasoning to my parents, but my grandmother didn't save me. My daddy said, go back there. He had a belt. He had one of them. I don't know where the fuck he get this belt from, but he had one of them thick ass police belts. I don't know if this nigga bought this shit from a truck stop or something. That's what I think. I think this nigga was so livid at me on his way between Dallas and Jackson that he stopped in Shreveport, Mississippi on I-20 at TL, them truck stops, and bought one of them thick ass trucker belts or something, or police belts or something. Said, oh yeah, this is for Brian ass. Man, I get up in there, and I just turned back and looked at my grandma and my mama, and they just staring at me. My dad said, go to the back of the den. And I went to the back of the den. That motherfucker wore my ass out for a good 5 minutes, man. I'm talking about tore my ass up. In the midst of me getting my ass whooped, I'm steady looking at back at my folks like, you see what this nigga doing to me? Y'all gonna allow this shit to happen to me? Y'all gonna allow this to happen to me? This shit hurt. This shit don't feel good. Save me, grandmama. Save me, mama. But I deserved it. It wasn't abuse. It was just a good ass whooping he put on the nigga. And that's how I feel about these immigrants, man. How I felt those 30 minutes of me seeing my dad, that's how I feel when they see ICE. That's how I feel knowing they don't know when they're going to get deported. I always wonder, how does it feel? Because I know how I feel. Anticipating something, you don't know how it's going to end for you. And that's why I think what happened to the immigrants, that's why I think what's going on with these Africans, these Haitians and all. So what y'all think? Do y'all even care about how they feel about being deported? Do y'all ever think about that? You know, It was just funny. I just thought about it. I was like, I want to know how they feel. Because I know how I feel. Anticipate something you don't know the outcome of. Trust me, I know how I feel. But anyway, thank y'all for listening, man. Y'all have a great one, and peace out and salute.